thing I'm going to do is everyone go to GitHub, okay, and register for an account with your personal email ID, because I think your organization also uses your GitHub. So when you try to log in with your personal ID, sorry, official ID, it will not work. Okay, it's better to create a account with your personal email ID, and you can access your personal email IDs here for the verification. So normally there will be a verification email will be sent. Okay, from the server you can access Gmail. It will not have any issue. Okay, it will not be blocked. Okay, so use your personal email ID and register for account. If you already have a personal GitHub account, feel free to use it. Okay, so I already have an account, so I'm just going to do it. Let me show you the sign up page. Okay. In the sign up page, what you have to give is you need to provide a email address. Okay, so I already have an account. See. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. This is a unique name. I don't have an account here, so I can set up a password. Okay, and I can continue it. Let me just check whether my mail ID is correct. When I want to create a repository in Git, okay, there are multiple ways I can do it. One is in the GitHub UI or the GitHub portal itself, I can create it, or otherwise from my local, okay, I can create a directory and I can push it to the centralized repository. We will see how that is happening. First, let me see how do I create a repository on my GitHub account. Okay, so once you logged in, on the top, you can see the plus icon. There you can select a new repository. So once you logged in, the top right corner will be your profile. You can manage your profile. I'll come back to about all these features there. So first, let me start with the repo. Then I will show you the UI options. Okay. Near the plus icon, you can select option called new repository. And then here you can see it will show your GitHub account user ID. My GitHub account user ID is Satish Bob. And inside that, I can give a repository name. I'm going to give it as like RB Git training. You can give any name you want, not a problem. Okay. So let me give RB Git training. And next is you can provide a short description about this repo. And next is you can choose whether it should be public or private. I told you the default GitHub account gives you one private account, you can use it. So the private account means even like anyone in the public will not be able to come and see your repository. Okay. If it is a public repo, everyone can see it, but they will not be able to modify the content of the of your repository. So let's stick with the public only. Okay. And next is whether I need to initiate the repository with a README file or I want the default one to be created. So let's just not select the add README. So I'm just going to put a public. Actually, I'm going with the default option, not changing anything. So if you want like I want a README file to be created and I want to choose a license type like Apache or MIT. So this is just going to tell about how people can use this code. Imagine like I want to use Apache license. That means they can use it and they cannot use it for the commercial purpose. So there are multiple license types available. So you can choose whatever you want. Okay. So I'm not going to choose anything. So the default option, I'm going to create a repository. Once the repository is created, okay, so you can see there are multiple options you can use it. The first option is, so you can create a repository and then you can push it. Okay. or an existing repository, if you want to push it, you can do this way. Or otherwise, if there is another repository, you want to import the code from the another repository, you can use the import code. Okay. First, let me go with the default one. So let me go to this server, and there the server only. Sorry. So here, what I'm going to do is, let me issue a command called pwd. Okay. I'm in the user's home directory, so I'm good. So that will be this PC, C drive, users, training. So this is the directory I'm in. So let me create everything here. Then let me do a command called mkdir rb git training. So this will create a directory called git training. So you can give any name. This is not going to impact any of it. Not a problem. And then let me go inside this directory or the git training. See the command prompt change. So this actually talks about which directory you are in. So in Unix world, the tilde symbol represents to the user's home directory. Normally in Windows, it will be C drive users. That user name will be the user home directory. So that tilde is representing that. And after that, you are inside the RB git training. There, let me create a file that is in the README file that will be in the markdown language type. So I can just copy paste that. So this will create a file called readme.md. Next, if I do a ls-la, so ls-la is a command to list all the files inside the directory. Okay, so I have created a file. Okay, and the git init command is going to initialize this directory as a git repository. So I want to show you the command difference. Okay, before running the git init, I see only one file. It's called readme.md is the only one file. If I do a git init, so it is going to create a empty git repository. Inside that, you can see a file with the file name called .git. Okay, so I talked about the commit history, head and all those things, right? All those information will be there inside the .git directory. If I do ls-la now, you can see there is a .git directory got generated after I run the git init command. So all your repository informations will be there. I'll show you the files. So if you go to this directory, so inside that, okay, this file is hidden. So what I will do, I will do a folder option, type folder option. Okay, the Windows, if you type, there will be a file explorer option will be available. Click on that and go to the view tab. And there you can show hidden files. Okay, and then hide protected operating system files. Just uncheck that. Apply. Now you can see the .git folder is visible. So show hidden files and then uncheck the hide protected operating system files is visible. You go to the git directory. So this is the default information you can see inside that. Okay, I will just walk you through this file. See, normally we will not modify anything inside this directory, but it's good to understand what is inside there. Okay. So let me just walk you through the files inside this directory. So the head, I told you, head always refers to the latest commit ID, right? So I don't have any commit IDs now. So it is pointing to the master. So this is where you will have the latest commit ID mentioned. So this is the file. And next is the description will be your short description about this repository. Okay. And next is your config. So in this config, you can talk about, okay, what is the file mode, cases, and all those information you can do it. Okay. And next is the references. So if there is any tags, you can find them here. Currently, there is no tags for us. And if you have multiple heads created, you can see them here. So these are all the references. And next is the object. So this is where your blob file will be available. I told that there is a blob and tree and all those things, right? So those will be available in the objects. And next is the info. So it will be the exclude file. If you want to exclude any of the file, you can just exclude it. Like for example, you will have some image files and that image files you don't want to push it to the Git repository. You can put them in the exclude file and that will be exclude. And there is one more option called .gitignore file you can create. There you can say, I don't want these files to be pushed to the Git repository. You can put the folder structure and all the files inside the folder structure will not be pushed to the centralized repository.